The young man sitting next to her accidentally hit her chest with his arm. He quickly explained that he was sorry, but his fate was about to change. The girl, looking at the simple and honest man in front of her, had a sudden thought. Maybe this time it would work. She screamed that Mike was a scoundrel. She knew in her heart that Mike had no intention of doing that, but she still screamed, claiming that the boy was a stalker. She said that he had touched her while she was asleep. And so the innocent Mike was wrongly accused. Annie demanded that he be taken to the police station immediately. The passengers on the bus said that the police station was the next stop and asked her to continue. Annie's heart was broken. She couldn't believe that they would wait for the next stop, but she didn't give up. She put on an expression of calm and pity. Who could refuse her request? And everyone agreed to let her get off now. And so it was. Annie finally got off the death bus. But as she got off the bus, she froze again. She thought to herself that she could save one person, but since there was no way to involve the other passengers, the only one who could be saved was probably Mike. Annie lied and said that she would take him to the police station, so Mike was taken. She was relieved that he had finally survived, but she didn't know that it was a pity. At this point, Mike's face was full of innocence, and he would never have imagined that the girl who framed him was actually the one who saved his life. Mike didn't want to be late, so he called a taxi and continued on. Annie was also walking in shock. And just when she thought it was over, there was another explosion. She froze in fear. Then suddenly, a motorcycle went out of control and knocked her down. Annie also fell and hit her head hard. Soon, she passed out. Annie was taken to the hospital. The situation on the other side was even worse. Mike, who had already gotten off the bus, was still injured by the explosion. It turned out that the taxi he took was right behind the bus, still in the area of the explosion. A short time later, the firefighters took him to the hospital. Mike was dying because of the explosion, and by coincidence, they crossed paths at the hospital. It seems that fate brought these two together. It didn't take long. The police found something suspicious. The security footage from the bus showed two people getting off at an unscheduled stop, and then the bus exploded. They became the prime suspects. Annie told them everything that had happened, but who in their right mind would believe such an absurd story? And then another bad news arrived. Mike, who had been named as a suspect, was about to die. The doctors immediately tried to resuscitate him, but Mike, unfortunately, he didn't resist. He thought he was going to die. But the next minute, Mike was back on the bus when a voice from beyond said congratulations to Mike for entering the game.